So it looked like there is a Caitlin Clark Nike shoe that is set to be released on June the 1st, but that is not the only release coming for 2025.
Remember all the rumors that Nike had canceled Caitlin Clark's shoes? Well, guess what? They were totally wrong. In addition to releasing one Caitlin Clark shoe, they're actually releasing two in 2025, and we have all the information you need right now. The first release, the Caitlin Clark X Nike Kobe Protro Indiana Fever Edition, goes on sale on June 1st. And if that wasn't enough, Nike is releasing the Caitlin Clark X Nike Kobe 6 Protro Light Armory Blue on October 1st. These aren't just random colorways, they're strategic releases leading up to something much bigger for Clark.
Nike is doing us an even bigger favor. They're releasing not one pair of shoes, but two. Yes, there will be two Caitlin Clark releases coming out this year.
A while back, there were rumors going around like wildfire that Nike had abruptly canceled Caitlin Clark's shoe deal. When the news broke, the basketball community went crazy on social media, with fans going crazy over the reports that the huge shoe deal was suddenly off the table.
Now, there was a video that came out about a month and a half ago from a content creator that said these shoes was canceled. They was not coming out. That, my friends, is what I'm telling you, is purely clickbait.
The timing could not have been more disastrous. Clark was emerging as the face of a new era in women's basketball, and the sport was finally receiving the attention it deserved. Then, all of a sudden, rumors began to circulate that Nike was abandoning the sport, leaving fans in complete shock.
Because I told y'all that they wasn't canceled. And now people don't believe the shoes is coming out.
This information vacuum, which allowed rumors to run wild and led people to question Nike's true commitment to women's sports and how they could make such a big deal about signing Clark and then just walk away, made everything more convincing. There was no official statement from Nike or from Clark's team.
You could be missing out on your pair of shoes by listening to the other guy that pretty much clickbaited for views and lied on Caitlin Clark's whole situation with.
Some well-known voices opposed this story, calling it what it was: clickbait. One artist put it this way: "I told everyone that it was clickbait since he was the only fucking content producer who made a video claiming that these shoes were canceled."
The shoe is coming out, bruh. That whole these shoes was canceled was clickbait. I'm trying to tell you what it is. Now, despite rumors of the contrary reports, there are currently no plans to release Caitlin Clark Kobe 5. Look, that is click.
Optimists and believers caution fans that by listening to the other guy, who pretty much used clickbait to get views and lied about Caitlin Clark's entire relationship with Nike, they might be losing out on their pair of shoes. However, this was just one voice against a tidal wave of speculation and concern that something about these cancellation rumors didn't add up. But why would Nike abandon such a promising partnership? Why would they invest $28 million in Clark only to bail before releasing a single product?
These isn't Caitlin Clark's signature shoes. But hell, anything released from Caitlin Clark shoe-wise is legendary.
There was something truly legendary about those rumors, and they weren't simply untrue. Behind the scenes, they were creating something much more significant than just another trademark sneaker, and by using Kobe Bryant's famous line, they were linking Clark to basketball immortality. This unanticipated course for their investment exposes a more complex approach that no one anticipated.
Straight facts. I'm standing on business about this one here. Now, we know Caitlin Clark do have a signature shoe that is scheduled to be coming out with Nike, probably, allegedly, just don't hold me on this, probably 2026. And if it was my guess, I believe Caitlin Clark's shoe is going to be coming out in 2000.
When you consider that Nike chose to release the Caitlin Clark X Nike Kobe 5 prototype Indiana Fever instead of releasing a Caitlin 1 immediately, their choice to introduce Clark in the Kobe line is simply brilliant. This isn't just any partnership. It's a handover of the torch from one of the greatest basketball legends to the newest and most promising figure in women's basketball.
This is the one the other guy said that was getting canceled. This Nike Kobe 5 Protro Indiana Fever. Now, I'm ready to tell you, Kicks Finder, let it be known, this thing broke the internet yesterday. Over 100,000 views that this shoe was coming out.
The timing is what adds even more interest to this. Clark's second WNBA season, when all eyes will be on her following her incredible rookie campaign, coincides perfectly with Nike's strategic choice of June 1st, 2025, as the release date. Nike knows exactly what they're doing here. They're waiting for the moment when her star power will be absolutely peeing.
This is the sneaker right here, and y'all know Caitlin Clark rocker. This is the shoe that's coming out when? June the 1st. At Caitlin Clark. Now, Caitlin Clark is tagged in this one. She's tagged.
The Indiana Fever colorway demonstrates how dedicated Nike is to making Clark the face of their brand. They're not just putting her name on any design. Instead, they're incorporating her professional identity into the product. This strategy solidifies Clark as the focal point of both the team and Nike's women's basketball strategy. Going forward, Nike will undoubtedly set a premium price point that speaks volumes about their confidence in Clark's market pull. They're placing a large wager that basketball fans will be willing to pay top dollar for these shoes even if they aren't an official signature line. The price tag will symbolize Nike's belief that Clark can sell products just as well as the biggest names in the sport.
Yes, bro. Indiana Fever is starting at 190, bro. These shoes are coming out June 1st. I promise you, bro. They're coming out June 1st, and everybody's going to be looking silly when they do, bro. Tell you what I know. I believe these shoes come.
Sneakerheads and basketball enthusiasts both are already getting excited as sources stated the shoes will have the Indiana Fever team colors with unique Clark touches. According to one source, every Caitlin Clark sneaker that has been launched is legendary. Additionally, Nike is launching 2 pairs of shoes. So, when will you be able to get the first Caitlin Clark Nike shoe? Note that the Caitlin Clark X Nike Kobe 5 prototype Indiana Fever will debut those team colorways with Clark's unique embellishments on June 1st.
Now, that was a report from Soul Retriever. So, the Soul Retriever might have been the original ones who saying that this shoe wasn't coming out. But I'm here to tell you, dog, I don't see nothing. These shoes coming out, bro. These shoes are coming.
Although basketball fans have marked June 1st on their calendars, Nike recently disclosed that they are playing a much bigger game than anyone had anticipated. The footwear behemoth isn't just releasing one Caitlin Clark shoe in 2025. They've planned a second drop for October 1st that totally departs from the Indiana Fever colors in order to establish Clark's personal brand identity.
Because there is another shoe scheduled to be coming out. Now, these are fire. These right here are another pair of the Caitlin Clark Nike Kobe 6 Protro Light Army Blue is expected to drop October the 1st.
Just 4 months after the initial release, the second shoe, the Caitlin Clark X Nike Kobe 6 Protro Light Armory Blue, will be available. You can imagine how uncommon that is for an athlete without a signature line. It is nearly unheard of in the business for 2 specialized shoe releases to occur in the same year.
These shoes right here that are scheduled to be coming out in October, dog.
This timing is not an accident. The commencement of the college basketball season on October 1st marks the exact moment when focus begins to move away from the WNBA. Nike isn't just dropping shoes at random. They're meticulously planning every step of Clark's rollout. The light armory blue colorway marks a major departure from the Team Focus initial release, indicating that Nike is already creating Clark's own brand apart from her Indiana Fever persona.
Clark will have her own line of Kobe sneakers, bro. That is what it's looking like.
Consider how this strategy differs from that of other athletes. Nike usually only collaborates once to gauge market reaction, but with Clark, they're establishing a consistent presence throughout 2025. The 4-month gap between releases is strategically placed to allow each drop to create its own buzz while sustaining constant momentum for the Clark brand because of the incredibly high level of anticipation surrounding her signing.
But I'm here to tell y'all, man, everywhere else besides this Soul Retriever thingy is claiming that the shoes is coming out, bro. I mean, the news broke yesterday that the shoes is coming out. I mean, this stuff is everywhere. How much credible do we need to get?
Nike is treating Clark differently than almost every other athlete on their roster, particularly one without a signature line. However, This back-to-back release strategy establishes a pattern that strongly implies Nike is testing the market in 2025 before possibly introducing Clark's entire signature line in 2026. Hold on, why don't we call these releases Caitlin Clark signature shoes if Nike is devoting so much marketing resources to them? This difference goes beyond simple marketing speak and discloses Nike's whole strategy for turning Clark into their next basketball star.
Shoe that is scheduled to be coming out first, and then there's another shoe that is scheduled to be released on October the 1st. Is that these shoes are coming out maybe 4 or 5 months apart? Could it be leading us into Caitlin Clark's signature shoe being released? I think that is the plan that Nike is strategizing, and that's the plan they're doing ultimately.
Let's dispel the misunderstanding. What Clark is currently receiving aren't signature shoes. Rather, they are collaborative operations, and in the sneaker industry, that distinction is crucial. In a collaboration like these Kobe prototypes, Clark is contributing her style to an already existing design. She is receiving some input, to be sure, but not the entire creation process that goes into a true signature shoe, where everything from the upper design to the sole technology represents her playing style and personal brand.
And that's ready for the blast off moment, and that is Caitlin Clark's signature shoe coming out.
The intriguing thing about Nike's strategy is how well thought out it is. Rather than holding back on Clark, they're sticking to a tried and true formula that they have employed with many of their most successful athletes. They begin with high-profile partnerships that create buzz, gauge consumer reaction, and then, once they have enough traction, launch a full signature line.
Everybody and their mama waiting on these shoes to come out. I mean, once we got news that Caitlin Clark was signing with Nike, everybody been waiting on this damn shoe to come out. I mean, Caitlin Clark signed a $28 million deal with Nike, bro. Where are these damn shoes at? Everybody been waiting.
These Kobe partnerships serve as a sort of bridge, allowing Nike's design team to get input from the actual world while also creating what is probably going to be Clark's signature line. Consider that as Nike stating that they will create suspense rather than rush something to market because they're so sure in Caitlin's star power.
Bunch of Nike shoes dropping. Nike didn't do so good financially last year. It's look like they ain't wasting no time. They're finna pull out all the bells and the whistles for these female athletes for the 2025 calendar year.
According to the Smart Money, Nike is testing every sale in 2025. They are developing her brand equity release after release, laying the groundwork for what may be several signature models in 2026 and beyond. And every social media mention and piece of feedback turns into useful information that will determine what a genuine Caitlin Clark signature shoe looks like.
Nike is not playing no games. They pulling out. This is going to be year of the women with Nike, dog. They lost so much money last year, and I'm telling you, they would have did good. Caitlin Clark alone could fix Nike finances problem. I can almost promise you.
Look, Nike's strategy with Caitlin Clark goes beyond simply releasing 2 shoes the following year. It's a well-thought-out business decision that speaks volumes about her future following a financially difficult year. Nike is placing a large wager on Clark being their golden ticket in women's basketball, using these releases as stepping stones to test the market and develop her brand.
Michael Jordan signed with Nike. That's what they looking for out of Caitlin, bro. Caitlin can single-handedly, tell you what I know, fix their problems. Caitlin can fix their financial woes if they release.
The timing couldn't have been more ideal. These dumps are timed strategically to increase sales exposure rather than occurring on arbitrary occasions. The long-term objective of Nike is being realized. In addition to selling shoes, they are positioning Clark as the new face that will define their women's basketball division for many years to come.